Hello. I noticed you spend a lot of time in the woodworking corner.
Hi, I find it very relaxing to build something with my hands.
My name is Lily, and I am usually at this pottery wheel.
It is nice to meet you, Lily. I am Tom.
Is that a new model of an airplane you are making?
Yes, it is a vintage plane from the early days of flight.
The wooden pieces look very delicate and difficult to assemble.
It requires a lot of patience and very steady hands.
I feel the same way about shaping wet clay on this wheel.
One wrong move and the whole thing can collapse, right?
Exactly. You have to find a perfect balance of pressure.
I enjoy the smell of fresh wood when I'm carving.
And I love the cool and smooth texture of the gray clay.
Do you always make bowls or do you try other shapes?
I like making tall vases and sometimes small animal figures.
That sounds like a very creative way to spend an afternoon.
Hobbies are the best medicine for a long and busy week.
I forget about all my work emails when I'm here.
The studio is a place where time seems to stand still.
I started this hobby when I was 10 years old.
I discovered pottery only a year ago during a summer trip.
It is amazing how a hobby can become a big passion.
I think humans have a natural need to create something beautiful.
I agree. It makes life much more colorful and interesting.
Is your wooden plane almost ready for the first coat of paint?
I still need to fix the propeller and the small wheels.
I want to see it when it is finished and ready to fly.
I will bring it to the studio next Tuesday for sure.
I will have my new set of vases ready by then too.
It's a deal. I look forward to seeing your work.
Do you want to see how I start a new bowl?
I would love to. It looks much harder than it seems.
First, I have to center the clay perfectly in the middle.
Your hands are moving so fast and yet so gently.
It is all about the steady rhythm of the spinning wheel.
I use a small knife to shape the wings of my plane.
Wood is much more solid and less forgiving than clay.
If I cut too much wood, I cannot put it back.
With clay, I can just start over if I make a mistake.
That is a very big advantage of your hobby, Lily.
But wood lasts much longer without needing a hot oven.
That is true. My models can stay on the shelf for years.
I have to put my pots in a kiln at very high temperatures.
I always worry that they might break during the heating process.
It happens sometimes, and it is always a bit sad.
I lost the wing once because I used the wrong type of glue.
We both learn from these little accidents in our workshops.
Every mistake teaches me how to be a better builder.
Look, the walls of the bowl are getting thinner and taller.
It looks like a flower opening up in the sun.
That is a very poetic way to describe a piece of pottery.
I see art in everything that people make with love.
Do you prefer to work in silence or with some music?
I like the sound of the wind or some soft classical guitar.
I listen to upbeat songs when I have a lot of energy.
My hobby requires a very quiet and peaceful environment.
I can be quite messy with all this water and clay.
My corner is always covered in small piles of sawdust.
At least we are both happy in our productive mess.
Being creative is definitely worth a bit of cleaning later.
This is my favorite wire tool for cutting the clay base.
It looks like a very simple but effective piece of equipment.
What is that tiny block you are holding in your hand?
This is extra fine sandpaper for making the wood very smooth.
Can I touch the wing of your plane to feel the surface?
Sure, be careful, the glue is still a little bit wet.
Wow, it feels like silk. You did an amazing job here.
Thank you, I spent 3 hours just on this one part.
I use these small wooden sticks to carve patterns into pots.
Those patterns look like waves on the surface of the ocean.
I am inspired by nature and the shapes I see in the forest.
I am inspired by the history of engineering and fast machines.
We have very different styles, but the same creative spirit.
I think every tool tells a story of what it can create.
I keep all my brushes in this old ceramic jar I made.
I have a special wooden box for my miniature drills and saws.
It is important to take good care of your instruments.
A sharp tool makes the work much easier and more precise.
I always wash my wheel after I finish a session here.
And I have to sweep the floor to keep the dust away.
Do you ever share your hobby with your friends or family?
I made a small birdhouse for my mother last winter.
I gave a set of handmade mugs to my brother for his birthday.
Handmade gifts are always the most meaningful ones to give.
They carry a piece of our time and our heart inside.
I want to build a larger ship model for my father next.
That sounds like a very big project for the autumn months.
It will take a long time, but I am ready for the challenge.
I will support you with some coffee when you feel tired.
That is very kind of you. I will need that energy.
I finally finished painting this cup with a bright blue glaze.
The color is very deep and it has a beautiful shine.
It took me a long time to choose the right shade of blue.
It reminds me of the sky on a very clear summer morning.
I want to paint some white clouds on it tomorrow morning.
I am painting the stripes on the tail of my airplane.
You have a very steady hand with that tiny brush, Tom.
I have to hold my breath when I do the very small details.
I use a sponge to create a soft texture on my ceramic plates.
That is a very clever technique for a natural look.
What kind of paint do you use for your wooden models?
I use acrylic paints because they dry very quickly and stay bright.
My colors change completely after they go into the fire.
That must be a very big surprise when you open the kiln.
It is like a magical transformation every single time.
I prefer to know exactly how the color will look on wood.
I like the mystery and the element of chance in pottery.
We have very different approaches to our creative process.
That is what makes this studio such an interesting place.
I see someone making a giant sculpture in the back room.
That is Mark. He works with metal and heavy iron pieces.
The sound of his hammer is very rhythmic and strong.
Everyone here has a unique way of expressing themselves.
I am glad I joined this community of makers and artists.
It is much better than sitting alone in a small apartment.
Interaction with other people gives me many new ideas.
You even gave me an idea for a wooden handle for a pot.
A combination of wood and clay would look very modern.
Let's try to collaborate on a small project one day.
I would love to try that. It sounds like a fun experiment.
Look at this vase. It survived the high heat perfectly.
The green glaze looks like a forest after the rain.
I am so happy with how the shape stayed so straight.
You should be proud. It is a very professional piece of art.
And look at your plane. The propeller actually spins.
I fixed the engine part just an hour ago with some oil.
The blue color of the wings matches your t-shirt perfectly.
I guess blue is my favorite color for a reason.
Your attention to detail is truly impressive, Tom.
I feel a great sense of achievement when a project is done.
It is the best feeling in the world to see a finished work.
We started with just a block of wood and a lump of clay.
And now we have these beautiful objects that did not exist before.
That is the real magic of having a hobby you love.
I am going to take a photo of my vase for my portfolio.
I want to take a photo of my plane next to your green vase.
The colors will look great together in the natural light.
This was a very productive week for both of us here.
I am ready for a short break before I start my next big pot.
I need to buy some more cedar wood for my next model.
There's a good craft shop just around the corner from here.
I will go there tomorrow morning to see what they have.
I will go with you to look for some new paintbrushes.
It is always better to shop with a friend who understands art.
I can help you choose the best type of wood for carving.
And I can help you carry the heavy bags of fresh clay.
That would be very helpful. Those bags are quite heavy.
We are becoming a very efficient hobby team, Lily.
I am glad we met in this studio a few weeks ago.
Me too. My hobby is much more fun when I share it with you.
The sun is going down. It is time to pack our things.
The day went by so fast while we were working.
That is what happens when you are in the creative flow.
I will put my plane in this protective box for the journey.
I am wrapping my vase in soft paper so it stays safe.
Are you coming to the studio on Thursday evening?
Yes, I have a new idea for a set of small teacups.
I want to start building a miniature lighthouse.
A lighthouse with a real small light inside?
Yes, I want to learn how to add a little bit of electronics.
That sounds like a very advanced and cool project.
I will need some help with the design of the base.
I can make a ceramic rocky island for your lighthouse.
That is a brilliant idea, a real mix of our two hobbies.
It will be our first official collaboration in this studio.
I am very excited to see how wood and clay work together.
It will be a unique piece that nobody else has.
I will bring the sketches for the lighthouse on Thursday.
And I will prepare the clay for the rocky island part.
I am leaving my tools in my locker over there.
My wheel is clean and ready for the next person to use.
Have a wonderful evening and get some good rest, Lily.
You too, Tom. Your plane looks fantastic in the light.
I will place it on the top shelf of my living room tonight.
It will remind you of all the hard work you did this week.
Every time I look at it, I will think of our studio talks.
See you in 2 days for our lighthouse project.
I will be here at 5 o'clock sharp, ready to build.
Goodbye, Tom. Safe travels home with your model.
Goodbye, Lily. See you very soon at the workbench.